Welcome to Enhance Your Career and Employability Skills. This is a course designed by the Careers Group, University of London, on behalf of the University of London International Academy. In this video, I'm going to give a general introduction to the course. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what career and employability skills actually means. I'm going to talk through some of the benefits of pursuing this course and some of the practicalities in how it will actually work. Also, I'm going to give you an introduction to week one and what we're going to be covering within this section. So what are career and employability skills? Well, in the modern workplace, there have been a lot of changes in the last few decades. There's been an increase in globalization, with organizations being able to move their work wherever they like in the world to take advantage of cheap labor or beneficial tax systems and things like that. And that means that jobs can move around very rapidly, and whole economies can change very quickly. And this has been facilitated by rapid advances in technology. And so there are different ways of transacting and different ways of interacting that didn't exist a few years ago. And all of that means that the job market is changing at a pace that we probably haven't seen for quite a long time. Lots of jobs that have existed for a long time are transforming completely or vanishing altogether. And there are lots of new jobs appearing that never existed before. And the pace of change is growing. And to be able to survive in that modern workplace, you need to be adaptable, you need to be informed, and you need to be connected. And one of the things we're going to do within this course is help you think about how you take more control of your career to deal with this modern workplace. So what does it take to thrive in such a workplace? There are three main elements to employability that I often talk about. One is the specific knowledge and skills that you need in order to do particular jobs. The other is the more general skills and qualities and awareness that you need to function in any workplace. And finally, there are skills that you need to use to manage your own career development and your own personal goals. So let's look at those three in a little bit more detail. There's the specific knowledge you need to do the job. Now that might be, for example, programming skills in order to be able to work within the computing industry. Or it might be the skills you need in order to conduct market analysis, to work as a marketeer. Or even the accounting skills and finance skills you need to work within the financial sector. Now you may be considering taking further study in order to develop those skills and knowledge to enhance your career. And that's certainly a good thing to do, and you may be considering doing courses through the University of London International Academy in order to get those skills. One thing to do is ask yourself a couple of questions in relation to that. How valuable are those skills to you? What are they worth? What are they likely to be worth in the future? What's the return on any investment that you make in terms of acquiring those skills? And how long are those skills going to be useful for? As I said, the job market is changing, and maybe you need to develop skills that are going to be useful for a future job market rather than just the current one. The second thing we talked about are general workplace skills. Now these are things you often see on job adverts and job descriptions and person specifications. So things like communication skills and teamwork and time management and organisation and planning and things like that. They're often called transferable skills. Now, quite often you develop those within the job, but it's important to be able to know how you identify them and how you market them when you're moving from one job to another. And that's something we will start to cover within this course. Alongside that, there's also organisational awareness and sector awareness, which helps you to function effectively within a particular work area. And again, that's something that you can develop through your work experience, but you need to be able to be aware of what you have developed and how you can develop it better. Finally, there are the employability and career management skills. And these are the skills that don't just allow you to thrive in a particular job, but to thrive across your whole career. They're the skills that enable you to take control of transitions that you make within your career, but also help you to thrive and be successful within a particular job or in a particular organisation. So what do we want you to get from this course? Well, the main thing is a sense of control. Being in control of your own career, being proactive, taking the initiative in what you do in order to progress your career in the way that you want it to go. In order to get that control, there are three other things that we want to help you to develop. One is a sense of clarity. Having a clear idea of what it is you want from your career, what's important to you in the long run, and what your goals are in your career. One of the things we've often found is when we work with clients, the opportunity they really value is the opportunity to take a step back just from the day-to-day striving to do a good job, to take stock of where they are and where they're going, and to reevaluate their situation, to prioritise their values, and to make some plans about the future. And so we want to help you in that process too. We want to help you think about what is important to you. And we're going to do that by giving you some information, but mainly by asking you some questions. And also getting you to engage in activities that hopefully will make you think about your career in different ways. The next thing we want to give you in order to help you have more control over your career is confidence. We want you to have more confidence in the decisions that you make in your career and also in how you present yourself in different situations within your career. So we want you to have a better understanding of who you are and what you have to offer to an employer. And we want you to have better skills in how you present yourself and build your personal brand. And one of the final things we want to give you in order that you have more control over your career is courage. The courage to try new things, try new experiences, maybe take a few risks, stretch your boundaries a little bit. And also the courage to learn from whatever you do so that you're constantly growing and developing within your career at a pace that's appropriate to you. So that's what we want you to get from the course. I'd like to talk a little bit now about how we've structured the course and how you can interact with it. So we've divided the course into 6 weeks, covering 6 key topics that we think are important to you in taking more control of your career. In week 1, this week, we want to develop your self-awareness. We want to help you to have a better understanding of what's important to you in your career, because that will influence how you make decisions within your career. The choices that you make can influence your level of success, but it also helps you to understand how you get information to make those choices and how you can present yourself effectively by having a clear understanding of your career values. As part of that, we want you to be able to ask the right questions of the right people, and that's going to be one of the key outcomes of this week that I'll talk about a little bit later in this video. In week 2, we want to focus on helping you to identify what you can offer to future employers, the kind of skills and qualities that are desirable in the workplace today. We want to help you to be able to identify and to develop the skills effectively and to give you some ideas of how you can move them forward. In week 3, we're going to be looking at what is a successful career and what are the attitudes and behaviours that you can adopt that increase your chances of success in terms of finding the right opportunities and also taking advantage of them as they come up. In week 4, we'll focus on how you can describe and give evidence for your achievements, especially in a written form, such as CVs and applications. And we'll focus on how you can present information and evidence in such a way that it demonstrates very clearly to a future employer your potential. In week 5, we'll move on to look at personal interactions, such as interviews, and to look at how you can have a very strong impact within those situations and overcome some of the nerves and other difficulties that people commonly face in those situations. And then finally, in week 6, we're going to look at networking and how you can build and develop useful contacts that will help you throughout your career. So, as I said, we've designed this course in 6 key topics over 6 weeks. But how you engage with that course and how you engage with that content is entirely up to you. You could decide to take a linear path, to start with week 1 and work through it week by week, pursuing each activity as it comes. And if you want to do that, that's entirely up to you. You can do that. However, it may be that some of the contents of different weeks you're already familiar with, and maybe you don't need our help in those areas, but there are particular topics that you'd like to get help on. And so we're quite happy for you to be selective and take a selective approach to how you engage with the material of this course. And so you may decide, for example, that the information in week 4 is really very important to you and you want to start there. And so we're quite happy for you to engage with that material when it becomes available, if that's what you need. Now, you may find in doing that in order to get the most out of that particular week, there may be other things you can do from preceding weeks or even subsequent weeks that might help you with that to do it more effectively. And we'll try to put pointers into our material to indicate where there are other activities in other weeks that you may find useful.